Oh. Okay, I didn't realize I had to push a button on YouTube. Oops. Um, so I was trying to. I had like a waveform thing in the background before, and I was gonna get like a fancy new like waveform thing while I talk, but like it reset everything I did like 5 days ago, and it was 5 days ago, so I don't remember how I did that. So yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. Sadly, I was so excited. I was like, I finally did something interesting, and it's gone. Nope. Mm-mm. Oh well. I guess I will take the opportunity to um, get the Twitter thing ready. Where's the share link? There we go. Um, let's see. Zenkaiger thing. Okay, there we go. One last try. Will this work? Well, I don't even know the button that I have to push, so this isn't working. Definitely not. I think. No. Oh, and I broke it. Okay. Yep, that's not happening. Okay, I'm gonna publish the stream now, I guess. How do I do that again? Um, here we go. Public. Done. Save. It's now public. Oh, spooky. And I'll send out the Twitter link. We'll see if Discord will do anything. Okay. It would appear that is live, so I'll let that go for a couple seconds. Okay, hello. Is anyone there? Oh, the Discord finally posted the link. So as long as the title, I guess, was not broken in any way, um, today I'm going to be talking about the Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger news stuff, because I don't like to talk about the same thing for like 5 weeks when whenever we get like a news cycle or whatever. So I waited until the press conference. The press conference was what, 2 days ago? So 2 days ago we got a bunch of info. I'm gonna go over that info, and it's mostly that info because there's been a lot of like the same images, like, so it's mostly just gonna be stuff from the trailer and the press conference. I'm not really gonna bring in a bunch of older like the old scans or whatever. So yeah, so let's see who's in the chat. Darth Wang, welcome. Toa Brony, Ben, a bunch of numbers. Starnova, Daniel Majesty, Zilla Punk, Flying Unipika, Unholy, Bra Moment, Chestnut. Is there an echo? I'm gonna test if there's an echo. Apparently there's an echo. Hello, Jordan. Can anyone else verify there's an echo, or is it just... I'm not hearing an echo, so I'm going to assume it's fine. Okay, we got a bunch of people here now. Why am I making a stream for Kamen Rider Mach? That's so funny. I understand that joke. So we're gonna begin with Zenkaiger because I don't want to start from the beginning because that feels kind of boring. So I guess let's start from when we started to get no echo. Okay, thank you everyone. So how do I do this again? It's been a long time since I streamed. I say that every time. I need to stop saying that. So I guess let's start with like initial thoughts when we first got actual information when this poster came out. So like a couple days before, we got to look at Zenkaiser as well. So my first thought is basically, for the last few like days before this poster came out, all anyone could talk about was Zenkaiger was apparently going to be like a completely like different kind of take on Sentai. Like we were gonna, the joke is always, oh, Sentai's dying, so like it's not, but the joke was always like something's happening to Sentai, so they need to switch things up. So before we ever got any info for Zenkaiger, I was like, oh, okay. I was expecting something different, right? So then this came out, and I was like, yeah, there you go. There's something different. So the initial idea is I'm actually really interested. Like the suits are all kind of strange in some way, these ranger suits, but like the idea that they're trying to do something different, like I enjoy Kier Major, but Kier Major is kind of like a normal Sentai, I guess. Like there's not like a ton of unique ideas in it, I guess, per se. So for this to come in, and I mean, even if you go back before it, Ryu Soldier is not really like, and not like, other than the mecha system, it's like another Sentai. So this is probably going to be another Sentai, but I like that they're really going crazy different, and obviously I'm going to be talking about that, so like we should probably move on from the poster. So poster came out, and I'm like, this looks really strange, but I am really interested in what they're doing. So actually, maybe we'll stay on the poster a bit longer because I'm going to talk about each character individually with the info that we've been given and all that stuff. I have somewhat of a plan this time, but as usual, I don't really have a plan for the live stream. But that's why I do the live stream, because it's harder to do video stuff for the news, for me personally, because I feel like there's already so many people who do videos on news and stuff in Toku that I kind of feel like I'm not really contributing much. So that's why I like just doing the live stream and going off the ball and whatever. So also in the description, I forgot to mention, in the description, I have links to my Twitter if you want to follow me, my Discord if you want to join the Discord server, and the new Patreon server, or not a server, the Patreon Discord, where if you, not the Patreon Discord, the Patreon, Patreon page. For just $2, you'll be able to watch the Kamen Rider Den-O review, which is finished. It's coming out this Monday for everyone, but if you want to see it right now, you can just pay $2, and you'll also get early access probably to the Sentai Potential Den-O when I finish that, and to the you'll get the extended audio version of the Den-O review as well. And I'm also going to be doing like a poll in a couple hours, I think, so you'll be able to vote in that as well. So just $2, Patreon, lots of cool stuff. And I've also got all the links to the information I'm going to be talking about, including the plot. So the plot, this is coming from Toku Nation, is Zenkaiger's story begins with a pair of scientists that discovered parallel worlds and could concentrate the powers of these worlds into small devices called gears. In the process, they discovered a world of mechanical life forms known as Kikanoids, normally a peaceful people, but now their world has been conquered by the evil dynasty Tojitendo, I think, that seeks to eliminate all other worlds. That's the basic plot. We didn't even get that in the trailer. We learned nothing about the plot in the trailer. So the plot is basically that there's stuff. And apparently I said Sentai Potential Den-O instead of Rider Potential. I meant Rider Potential. You're right, guys. But I guess there is a joke to be made that Den-O is like a Sentai. So there's that. But so there's the Zenkaiger plot. It's not really, I mean, it's not like game changing. Like I'm not like, whoa, this is crazy, but it's a plot that sounds interesting. I like the two parent aspect apparently. Those are spoilers. Those are Zenkaiger's parents apparently. So I'm assuming they're gonna come back in some way during the show, or they're gonna play a larger role if they're dead. So I think that's really interesting. I don't recall parents usually playing a role in recent Sentais, at least. I'm 100% sure they've played a role before, but and obviously the gears are the coin things on the screen. I have better pictures later, which we'll look at. But the gears look. I love the gears. I'm gonna pick up a few of the gears, because the gears look really great. I love these gears. And I think that is... Oh, I mean, there's like stuff about Kikanoids and stuff, but let's move on from this poster and let's start talking about our characters. So our main character, I mean, I guess they're all the main characters. So the dude in the middle is Zenkaiser. So it's not like... He's not a Red Ranger leader, which I think is really cool. I really like that. Because, you know, Red Rangers are always the leader, even in the show where they made 2 Sentai teams. So I like that we're making... we're switching it up. I think this is... I mean, like, the whole thing is, like, switching stuff up. So I like that we don't have the Red Ranger leader. So Zenkaiser is being played by Kikai Magine, who is... I think a new actor for Sentai. He hasn't acted in anything before. His in-show name is Kaito, and he's an adventurous, friendly man with no sense of personal space. So, he seems like a normal Sentai leader. So, there you go. I like the jacket he's got on. That looks kind of comfy. The Zenkaiser suit, I think, looks really cool. I mean, just the idea that they're not doing a Red Ranger leader is really cool, and I like that to not do a Red Ranger leader in a time when the Red Ranger is typically the leader. He's got like a lot of red on him, so he still would probably fit. I mean, yeah, we've seen he kind of fits alongside the other Red Rangers, and he's got all the rainbows on it, which is really interesting. I like the shield. People have said it's like the initial rumors said it's like the dragon shield, so that was really cool. I think it's not the dragon shield, but I like that it's kind of like the dragon shield. And the main thing I really like is that he's based on Aka Ranger, because I feel like I think it's just kind of interesting because Sentai doesn't really hammer the nostalgia in your face a lot. So like Aka Ranger, from when I've been on Sentai, Aka Ranger has never appeared like on screen in the last like 5 years or something. So I think it's really interesting that we like Aka Ranger kind of returns, as we'll see, and he's also got a and now Zenkaiser is Aka Ranger based, and that's really cool. So I'm not entirely sure in the show, but his powers seemed like they just come from Aka Ranger, but he's kind of like Big One because he's white and he's got the rainbows. But I'm not sure. Like in the trailer, Aka Ranger looks like he gives out the coin, or the gear. Sorry. So I wonder if, like, it doesn't really seem like he's using Big One's powers. Like I mean, I'm not gonna deny it's probably a reference to Big One, but I wonder if his power set isn't really coming from Big One, and that kind of makes the colors a little more interesting if the power in universe is not coming from Big One. Like, then why are the rainbows? Because the rainbows don't match with the other Zenkaigers. We've got the red, obviously, the blue, the pink, and the yellow, but there's no green Zenkaiger so far, so the big speculation is the 6th Ranger will be a green Ranger. But then that kind of makes it interesting, like, why does Zenkaiser, have the green? So I think it's kind of interesting what the suit is coming from. And I've seen, even in the chat, as we're watching, or as I'm talking, I've seen so many people say he looks like Kamen Rider Mach, and, like, yes, but, like, like, to say he looks like Kamen Rider Mach is to say, like, Aka Ranger looks like a red Kamen Rider Mach. Like, they're clearly trying to do an Aka Ranger reference to the point where he even has the holes and the eyes on the helmet, when, like, they don't need that anymore on Sentai suits. But everyone's just like, oh, he looks like Kamen Rider Mach. Like, I'm not going to deny he looks like Kamen Rider Mach, but it's like, they weren't really going for Kamen Rider Mach, I think. So that's just a little pet peeve. But Zenkaiser, what do we think of Zenkaiser? I think he looks cool. I'm excited. I mean, his character sounds fine. I think the most interesting part of him is going to be his connection to his parents and his grandmother. Yeah, I think it's his grandmother. I don't have a picture. I don't know her name, but the grandmother, his grandmother, has been in the trailer. She's going to be like the mentor character, I think, of the show. So I think it's kind of interesting that she's going to be like the mentor character, but the parents are missing, and they're the one that made the gear. Pun not intended. The gear and the gears. So I think I don't know. I like that we have the grandmother in to kind of create this interesting dynamic. With that, John Cullen has never seen a full episode of any Sentai. Well, that's fine. I would assume that you could probably enjoy Zenkaiger, without seeing a Sentai, because people always recommend Gokaiger if you haven't seen a single episode of Sentai. So, one other thing that's kind of annoying is just that his name is so similar to the name of the show, Zenkaiser, Zenkaiger, that I'm probably going to end up mixing it up a lot, and I don't like that. I've already started mixing it up right now. Yeah, that's true. It looks like an older Sentai suit with the whole eye thing going on, and I mean, I think that's really cool, because from what I can remember, like, the other anniversaries visually do not, with the suits, don't really heavily reference, like, Aka Ranger, and I think it's cool to see Aka Ranger, or Zenkaiser reference Aka Ranger. So, let's move on to the Kikanoids. So, obviously, the big selling point, kind of, sort of Zenkaiger is going to be that there's only one human ranger, and all the other ones are robots. Toei actually built robots specifically for this show. That is a joke. They're not. They're just people in suits as usual. But I think that's really cool. I mean, a lot of people have said it's like Zyuohger, but I think it's more interesting than Zyuohger, just because in Zyuohger, at some point, they just changed them all into humans. They had human disguises for most of the show. From what I know, I haven't watched Zyuohger, but here they're not gonna have Zyuohger. I mean, well, yeah, they're not gonna have Zyuohger. I mean, let's just ignore that. They're not gonna have human disguises. They're just gonna be robot civilian forms, and then their modes are robot ranger forms. It's kind of weird, but I really like that. That's really cool. So right now we are looking at yes, Killer Queen. This is basically gonna be like Magi Ranger, where they grow into Zord size. So what's his name? Zenkaiser does not have a Zord yet, and he does not grow, but these 4 other Rangers will grow into the Megazords, Mecha, whatever you want to call it, and they're going to combine. So that's going to be really cool. So this is Zenkai Juran. On the left is his civilian form. On the right is his morphed form. He is being voice acted by Shintaro Asanuma. And I guess I should probably say this now before I forget, but all of the Kikanoids are being voice acted by new Toku voice actors, I think. They're all apparently pretty popular anime voice actors, but I have not watched anime, so I don't know any of them, and I'm actually really okay with that, because a lot of the rumors before the show came out, or before the press conference, was that they were gonna have they were gonna be like, this guy was gonna be voiced by like Ultraman Zero, and there was like a rumor that Oradin from Kier Major was gonna voice someone, and I personally was, I mean, like the other voice actors I was fine with, but I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't get like specifically like Oradin, whatever that guy's name is, and Mao, I think, Gokai Yellow, just because like Oradin was in the last Sentai, so I feel like it would be weird if we go from like this dude who voices all the Changer to the dude who voices a Ranger. And then same with like, I feel like Mao has been in like every Sentai or something since Gokaiger. And she already voiced Raptor, so I thought it would be weird if she now voices another, or I mean, I guess it would have to be the Pink Ranger here. But they're not. None of them are Sentai alumni, and I'm really happy with that, because it means they're all new voice actors, and I really love that, honestly. I mean, it's a weird nitpick, but I'm just really happy that they're not old Sentai actors, and they're new actors, new voices, and I feel like it's going to bring a lot of life to the show, especially since they're actually like famous voice actors as well. So thank you, Draconis, for bringing up that this is the voice actor for Attack on Titan's protagonist. So like, he's, from what I understand, Attack on Titan is very popular because it gets on trending every so often. So he's voice acting a Red Ranger. That's pretty cool. So his personality is, he is the senior member of the team who thinks he is calm and relaxed, but is in practice a stubborn old man. So that's because he's based on what's the Japanese name? Ranger or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Power Rangers fans. So his civilian form is like a roboticized civilian form of the Red Ranger from Ranger. So basically, the Ranger civilian forms is this guy's civilian form. He's wearing like the same shorts. His getup, his chest piece is all from. It's kind of like based after the vest that the dude wears in Ranger. I don't know. I haven't seen Ranger, so I don't know what his name is. But and then the robot is very, very clearly based on Daijujin, aka the Dino Megazord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So that's a really cool touch. That all these Rangers are based on the Megazords. I think it looks really cool. He's probably my favorite. I'll rank all their designs when I get to the end, but he's probably my favorite Mecha form or Ranger form. Just because it's red and I think it looks cool. The head is like on his chest is like really strange though. It looks like I've seen someone point out it looks like Clifford, and yeah, it looks like Clifford. But the helmet is really nice. I like this evolved, I guess per se, form of the Daijujin helmet. It looks really nice, and all of them have, including Zenkaiser, they all have like a V, the Sentai V, and then a number, the number of the Sentai they're based off of. So Zenkaiser's V is a 45. So because he's the 45th Sentai kind of, so or his powers are specifically like new, the 45th Sentai. But all the others are based on the older Sentai, so their powers are not, or the number is not 45. So I don't remember, I think his is 15. So Zenkai Juran is 15, and that's probably why he's so old, because he's the oldest Sentai power set of these 5. So that's it for Juran for now. Before we get into like the Megazord stuff, I'll just reiterate for anyone confused. So on the left is his civilian form. And when he turns into a Ranger, that's his form on the right. And just because of how this show's working, he goes from that form, this right form, to a giant Megazord form. And then he can combine. Oh, okay. Thank you, everyone. He's actually 16, not 15. I don't know Sentai numbers, so thank you for helping me with that. He is 16, not 15. That does not sound good. And now I just want to bring up, we have 113 viewers, which is kind of crazy. Thank you everyone for showing up to me talking about the red MMPR robot. It would I don't like bringing up the Sentai adaptations like when the Sentai's first coming out. Like that's why I do Sentai potential at the end of the show when it's over. But a lot of people are like, how are they going to adapt this into Power Rangers, if presuming, if they still keep adapting shows. And like it is really interesting that like MMPR is our first season, but this dude will have a 16 on his head if they adapt it, and they have to work around that. I think that's kind of funny. I mean, they're not going to explain it at all. We all know that. So let's move on from Juran. Oh, also, just as an American who has to deal with oversaturation of MMPR, I still think the robot form looks cool. So, so next up is Zenkai Gaon. Oh, and they're all. This is actually a little bit of a nitpick. All the robot names, like just their names, is their Ranger name without like Zenkai. So Juran is known as Zenkai Juran as a Ranger, but as a normal person, his name is Juran. So I don't. It's kind of like in Kamen Rider when someone just copies their name into their Kamen Rider name, and it's like really weird. So it's kind of like this, where he goes, this guy's normal name is Gaon, and he goes from Gaon to Zenkai Gaon. So he is being voice acted by Kaji Yuki. Again, I have no idea what voice acting he has done. I'm sure you guys will know, and you can let me know. And he is a peaceful airhead with a love of cooking, and that's it. From what I remember of the press conference, he was like funny. So, I'm looking forward to him in the show. His design on the left, his civilian design is very clearly based off of the Gao Ranger yellow design, but his jacket specifically is like an inverted color of the Gao Ranger jacket. So that's pretty cool. And he's also got the dog tags are apparently a reference to the Yellow Ranger from Gao Ranger. So that's cool. Very nice references to the civilian form. And then the head is kind of weird. I forgot to mention that on Juran. The Juran head is really weird. I don't know what's going on with that. But his head is also kind of weird. I mean, mainly just because he has the eyes above his head, but now that I'm looking at it, it kind of looks like another Gao Ranger reference, where they have the, like the mouths or the visors. I wonder if that was what they were going for. Probably not. He also has, as someone pointed out, he's Sentai Kazari, because he's got, like, the dreadlocks that, let's see, he's got the dreadlocks that Leo has from Zyuohger, Kazari has in Kamen Rider O's. I think that's actually it. There's probably someone else with lion dreadlocks. When does this start airing? It is March 7th in Japan, which is probably like March 6th for most other people, unless you live in that time zone. His voice actor was Aaron in Attack on Titan. So another Attack on Titan dude. That's pretty cool. His mecha form is pretty cool. I mean, like, it's very clear this is, like, for some reason, he's just a repaint / remold of Juran, or Juran might be a repaint / remold of him, or they're both a repaint / remold of something else. But it is kind of, I don't know why these two are just the same design and the other two aren't. I don't really have a problem with that. It's just kind of weird. The head, I actually really like this head. He is very clearly based off the main Gao Ranger mecha that I don't know the name because I'm very clueless when it comes to stuff like this. But he's very clearly based off that mecha, except the face is weird on his chest. Both of their faces are kind of weird. I think this one works better in terms of it looks more like a lion, and the other one doesn't really look that much like a T-Rex. But I don't think I have any pictures of their transformed mecha mode, and the transformed mecha mode is honestly kind of awful for both of these dudes. Actually, I take that back. It's not awful. It's so stupid that it's kind of come around to looking very funny. That's where we're at with those two dudes. So, there you go. Zenkai Gao, or Gaon, sorry, Zenkai Gaon, Gone, there you go. And the Gao King, thank you. He's based off of Gao King, his mecha form, his transformed form, his ranger form, whatever you want to call it, is not civilian form. You can kind of see it more clearly on this dude as well, but they all the Kikanoids have the same undersuit, which is really interesting. I mean, that's very clearly intentional. I kind of wonder what they were doing, if there's going to be any story reason for that. Like, I guess, do all the Kikanoids come from the same place, and these 4 are going to, like, desert the evil Kikanoids, which we know nothing about. Because I think that would be really interesting. It would be kind of like Kamen Rider Den-O, as if this already wasn't like Kamen Rider Den-O. And I can actually see this number. He's number 25 on his thing. So Gaon. I know the theme song. Gaon. Gaon, Gaon, Gaon. Let's move on from Gaon, I guess. Unless someone wants to tell me why Gaon is the worst. Which he's not, but... The next one is maybe one of my favorites. Actually, these next two are my favorites. So we're gonna move on because I want to talk about that. So the Blue Ranger is Zenkai Vroon, or Vroom as he's known normally, and he is being voiced by Takuya Sato. I don't know who that is. He is the educated team member with a love for schooling. So he is based off of Bokenger. So his V crest is a 30. His ranger form is basically just a blue repaint of Daiboken in Bokenger. And his ranger form, that is his ranger form. His normal civilian form is, again, like a big mechanized version of the Blue Ranger's outfit in Bokenger. But his mecha form looks... Oh, thank you, Scribble Rock, for subscribing. His mecha form is very clearly just... not very clearly. As many people have pointed out, and I even made an edit, and it's now my most liked tweet ever. He looks a lot like Armada Optimus Prime. And his mecha form... That is his mecha form, I keep mixing it up. His ranger form... That is his ranger form. This is confusing to talk about. His normal civilian form is... Minecraft. He just looks like a Minecraft dude. I love him. He's so funny. He has like glasses, and in the press conference he's like grabbing his glasses, but they're part of his face, and it just occurred to me that he has glasses like Urotaros from Kamen Rider Den-O, and they're both blue, so I have to wonder if there's like a weird thing with blue people having glasses. But I love him. He's funny. He's my second favorite. I'm not dissing him. I love him. I think he's my second favorite. I think in both of his modes, because his normal form is so funny. And his mecha form is just Optimus Prime. There's nothing else to talk about with him. What else do I say? He's Vroomcraft. There you go. Perfect. I can't think, like, I didn't really watch the press conference, so I don't really know what their voices or personalities are like, and I actually probably want to go back and watch it, because I am really excited to see these characters, because as, I don't remember if someone pointed it out, or if I just came to the realization on my own, but, and maybe it's also just because I was working on the Den-O review, as this was coming out, but it feels like a lot like Kamen Rider Den-O. I think I did realize at the press conference, where we've got all these Sentai dudes, all these suit dudes just like messing around and falling over and beating each other up, while we've got this human dude who's in charge of them, just like, guys, can you please shut up? And it feels a lot like Den-O, and spoilers, I loved that in Den-O. So I'm definitely, I think if they keep that up in the show, I think I'm definitely gonna enjoy it a lot, because I just love that kind of shenanigans stuff. So Vroom is Vroomy. Vroom is great. Um, so Andrew says technically Zenkaiger is Sentai number 46, but the 45th entry of the series. That is not entirely true because Zenkaiser already has the 45, but for some reason Toei, after Lupin Ranger versus Paddle Ranger came out, decided to change. They decided to change Paddle Ranger from a separate team to part of the same team as a Loop Hat, which makes no sense, because if you do that, then it's like we got Uchu Sentai Q Ranger and Kishiryu Sentai Ryu Soldier, and the team in between is Kaito Sentai Lupin Ranger versus Keisat Sentai Paddle Ranger, like a versus team. I don't know. So I had canon Paddle Ranger as team 42.5 because I really don't like the idea that it's the same team as Lupin Ranger, especially like in the show they ended still fighting each other. So like, Toei, are you trying to convince me they're on the same team when they're not? Yes, Pronghorn Heroes, absolutely getting Den-O vibes. Big Den-O vibes, and I'm here for it. I saw a question I wanted to... Oh, yeah, so the Lupin Ranger gear, I forget if I have that picture here. The Lupin Ranger gear, we have a picture of the Lupin Ranger gear, and it has a 42 on it. And we don't have a Paddle Ranger gear picture yet, but, like, they're going to make a Paddle Ranger gear for Paddle and Red. I would assume it's going to have a 42 on it, because Toei thinks they're on the same team for some reason. But if it was up to me, I would make it 42.5. Or just make it, 42.5, because it has to work like that, I guess. I guess I'll talk about the trailer later, but a few people were like, oh, you can't see Powder and Red in the trailer, and he's there, so yeah. So now Urataros looking guy. Yep, he's chunk Urataros, and I'm here for it. So Vroom is wonderful, but I think now I have to get into my favorite Kikanoid. So this is Zenkai Magine. I'm a little confused on the spelling because initial rumors had it spelled Magine, pronounced Magine, but since then I've seen it's supposed to be without an E, so like Majin. I don't know how you're supposed to spell it. For now I'm doing Majin, or just like with an E. It doesn't matter, it's pronounced the same way. It's like a reverse Geo, where you can pronounce it Zio or Gio, but it's spelled the same way. This is pronounced the same way, but yeah. Anyway, she is being voiced by Yume Miyamoto, who is apparently, this one I know, she's the voice actress in like Gridman, I think. Like when people put pictures of their past Sentai, or their past voice acting, that was the only thing I knew. So, or no, and JoJo. I know some of the others were JoJo, but I haven't watched JoJo, so I didn't know their characters. She is a shy otaku obsessed with the occult. So I need to confess. This is I love her. The Majin. So the Majin Ranger form is based off of Sentai 29, Magi King, and it's garbage. No, it's not garbage, but the Ranger form is really, it's the worst one, in my opinion. I don't like the Ranger form. It's weird how she's the only one with a mouth now in Ranger form. And there's like weird tufts of hair, and I feel like there's a lot of pink on the Ranger form, and it just looks kind of weird. The Ranger form is weird, but the civilian form is amazing. I love the civilian form. This is the best civilian form. She's my favorite Kikanoid. I just love the design. She looks adorable. Um, it hurts my soul that it hurts my soul that they're releasing all of this Magine merch, but it's for the ugly Ranger form, and I need a figure of the civilian form. I love the civilian form. It's adorable. I love it. I need it. Even before, if you follow me on Twitter, everyone's calling me a simp. And I'm not a simp, but clearly there's nothing I can do to convince you because I love Magine. Magine is the best. I need a Magine figure. I mean, if it comes to it, I'll buy the Ranger form. I need Magine figure because the design is cute and I love it. The design is also based off of, what am I gonna do with the figure? I'm gonna have it next to my Muteki shrine that I'm playing at to my right. She's just gonna be in the Muteki shrine. I don't care. She's gonna be in there. Her design is also based off of the pink ranger from Magi Ranger. It's like got like the same like double skirt thing going on, and the head is like clearly based off of the phoenix or something. Everyone's calling me a simp. I have no defense. I'm not a simp. That's all I can tell you. We have 137 viewers. What did I miss? Nothing. Not nothing. You didn't miss anything. It is Magine. And I'm just gonna leave Magine up for the rest of the stream. That's a joke, but Magine is the best Zenkaiger. So ranking the suits. So ranking the civilian form in last. I mean, actually, I would go in the order that I've looked at them. So the last least favorite form of the civilians is Juran. In third is Gaon. In second place is Vroon. And not really in first, but in like really like negative place, I think that's how high you have to put it, is Magine. Because the civilian form is amazing. Magine. That's, yep. Magine. The Ranger forms, including Zenkaiser, in last is Magine. How the tables have turned. Above that is, I guess, Juran and Gaon are like the same. I guess Gaon in fourth because Juran is red, so I like it a little better. So what is it? Magine, Gaon, Juran, and then Vroon, Zenkai Vroon, and then Zenkaiser I think looks the best of the Rangers. But if I have to rank all of the suits in one ranking, it's like in a tier list, everything is like A, I guess, and the Magine civilian form is like SSSS. Yeah, Magine. Someone brought up art. If someone draws the red Muteki with Magine, I love you. Just throwing that out there. But Magine, because I also love Magine. So, Magine. So sadly, let's move on from Magine. That hurts me to say, or that it hurts to say that, but I have a thing, but I need to fix it. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Someone said, Thomas, I'm worried about you. There's no need to be worried. It's Magine. That's nothing. Don't worry about it. Magine. So at the press conference, we also got our first trailer, which didn't reveal anything, really. Nothing in terms of like story. We learned nothing new about the story, other than what we already. Well, actually, we knew already more from the Magine. I didn't mean to say Magine. We knew more about the show from the leaks. The press conference trailer didn't tell us anything. Or it didn't tell us anything new. So basically, now I'll talk about like the aesthetics more, I guess. So I just got a slideshow going because if I play the trailer, Toei will shoot me. So, in the trailer we get to see, what's his name, Kaito, get the... Well, I leave the stream up after I'm done, of course. I leave the streams up for a bit, and then I unlist them, but they're available in the live stream playlist, so they're always available. Am I gonna make one of my adaptations? Yes, eventually, and I'm gonna make Majin the main character. So how does basically this is just a lot of nice glamour shots of all the suits in action. We get to see the alright Majin Ranger form, but we get to see all the nice other Ranger forms. We get to see Zenkaiser looking very nice, and we get a nice team pose with everyone, which looks very nice. And we get a nice look at Juran. He's fighting a giant monster in his Ranger form, obviously. So if you didn't know, you can see that Juran, or all the dudes, all the Kikanoids are going to have the ability to grow and in their Ranger forms, and they're going to form the Megazords. As we can, if you get angry because I call them Megazord, I'm sorry. They will combine with each other to form the different robots, and only in the trailer you can see. I think the name is. I need to look. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I wrote this stuff down. Okay. The robot form is Zenkai Gaon that we see in the trailer. It's Zenkai Juran Gaon. That's it. If you haven't seen the trailer, I have the link in the description. Don't worry. You can go check it out because I'm not going to play it here. So Juran Gaon, the suit looks very nice. I like the look of the suit. I really like the whole mecha combining gimmick. I think is really cool. A lot of people have said they're gonna be, it's like symmetrical docking from Gao I think is the name of the show, which is very cool. I have a picture coming up of the toys. I really like how they get like the symbols of like their modes. Their beast modes, I guess. Maximize. No one understood that reference. I'll get the symbol of the beast modes in the combined forms. It's very cool. I like the aesthetics, except for the Ranger Magine, which is a little disappointing. But the civilian Magine is, we get a brief shot of her in the trailer, and I'm very, very happy about that. We also get to see everyone's about to the henshin morph, whatever, with the Geartlinger. We get a look at the henchmen in the trailer, because we don't get to see like any of the monsters really, but we get to see the henchmen. They look like rangers, which I think is really cool. And I think that's it for the trailer. If we get to see the grandma, but we don't really learn anything. Everyone got the reference. It was a Beast Wars reference. I'm very happy. So, actually, one thing I thought was interesting. I'm not sure if that's like a perspective thing, but the Juran suit when it's big looks different it might just be perspective, but the big Juran suit looks like a different suit. Like the face looks smaller and he looks more agile. Might just be perspective. Might just because we haven't. That's the only shot we got of them big, but I think it's cool. And the mecha. Hopefully the mecha fights are gonna be cool because let's see, since Ryu Soldier, we've had some very nice mecha fights. I love the Ryu Soldier mecha fights. Killer Major's doing some amazing footage work with their mecha fights, and I mean, there was like one really cool like panning shot with all the CG crap and the two giant things fighting, which I thought looked really cool for the 2 seconds it was on. So I'm excited for that. It just made everything look. It just got me more excited for the show, which is what a trailer should do. Didn't really reveal too much. I hope we get more info soon. Actually, if we don't get more info soon, that'll be a really nice surprise for when the show actually starts airing. So I don't care. If you want to keep airing the same trailer over and over, so be it. I think it did its job of getting me excited for the show, seeing everyone actually in poses and with each other and stuff. I do wonder how much of this is going to be in the show, because if you didn't know, the Saber trailer that originally came out at the press conference has no footage in the show. It was all original footage, so I don't know if it's going to be like this for. I mean, I have to imagine the mecha stuff is going to be used in the show. So yeah. So very quickly before I move on to the toys, that is all we got at the press conference. Really, I just want to bring up. Is it? Hold on. Here we go. Magine. There you go. Here we go. Anyway. So, we also got the toys. So now I'm going to talk about the toys, a little bit more about the aesthetics. So, this might get me blacklisted. I don't really like the gear tlinger. So on the left is the main weapon and transformation device of all the Zenkaigers. I also forgot to mention all the Kikanoids are going to have their own weapons. But this is the only... this is Zenkaiser's only weapon so far, but this is also everyone else's gun, weapon, and transformation device. So, I don't love the way this thing just looks. I think it looks fine. I don't know what it is. Like, the handle on the front is kind of weird. It feels like kind of bulky. I don't know. I'm not really loving this thing. I think it just might be like the bulkiness of the whole body. It just feels really, really weird. Like, I like the sticker, and it's really disappointing how the gears are being handled, because the gears look amazing. So on the right there's a lot of Sentai gear pictures already. These are just the ones I grabbed because I didn't want to clutter the screen with the same thing a bunch of times with a different Red Ranger. So on the top are the Ranger Sentai gears. So as I went over, Zenkaiser is 45. He's the only one that's 45. All the others are numbered after the season they're based off of. So Gaon is 25, Zenkai Juran is 16, Vroon is 30, and Magine is 29. And at the bottom you can see that we get looks of the Legend Sentai gears, which are obviously numbered off of the season, and they're colored gold like the rest of the gear, whereas the Zenkaiger gears are colored um, after the Ranger colors. So here we can see Mega Ranger, Gao Ranger, Ryu Soldier. That's one I definitely need, and Tokyuger. I also probably need that Majin gear. And we've also seen the Kira Major gear, and we've gotten pictures recently of the Dai Ranger gears. I think we've seen the Gokaiger gear. I think there's some leaked pictures of like the Shinkenger gear. I think the Lupin Ranger gear. There's a lot of gears we already know what they look like, and we already know there's going to be at least 49 gears, because there's an Akka Ranger gear. Because obviously you got to make the 44 previous Sentai seasons. Presumably we're going to get the Paddle Ranger gear, so that's 45. Then we've got the 5 other Rangers, the main Zenkaiger Rangers, so that's 50 gears. And I mean, from there you could logically make the other, like, you can make like a 6 Ranger gears. You could probably make like all the other Ranger gears. They just make the same sounds. So there's a lot of gear stuff that you can do here. I am very scared for all of the gear collectors out there. I wish you the best of luck in your gear collection hunting. Me personally, because I don't really like the gear gear, I'm just gonna grab a few, because I have to, like, I get my Saber stuff from a couple stores, so every so often I'll just probably throw in a set of gears, and that's it. But my main point with going over to Sentai gears again, actually, on the back, they also have the team logo, which is pretty cool. So I don't really like how the gear uses them. Like, it just gets thrown into this weird green handle thing, and that's it. On the back, I can't really point to it, but it's the please be the living Ranger gear. I can't. No, I'll be the living Wonder Ride book. I could probably do that. Or the Gashat, but Sentai gears, no, I can't. I gotta stay out of the Sentai gears. But I'm getting a few probably, but I'm not going all in with them. But I'm a little disappointed by how the gear twinger is using the gears, just chucking them in the back, and you can't really see them. I think you can briefly see it in the changer in the trailer, so you could probably see it in the thing. But I'm not sure how well you can see it. It's all right. I don't think it's horrible. I just think, like, the colors are very nice, the red and black and the gold, but maybe it's the green. I don't know. It looks fine. I don't know. We can very briefly hear the voice of it in the trailer, and that is actually selling me on the changer, because it sounds really nice. I really like that, like, 2-second voice clip in the trailer, and that alone is making me want to grab it at some point. I mean, if I'm getting a few Sentai gears, I imagine at some point I'm gonna get the changers. So, we'll see. For now, I'm passing on the changer, but I want to get a few Sentai gears. At some point, I'll probably end up getting the changer with, like, the last Saber box I ship or something. I don't know. I'm seeing a few mixed responses on the changer in the chat. It seems like everyone likes the Sentai gears, so I'm proud of all of you. Well, a few mixed responses on the gear twinger, which is fine. Someone mentioned the bird. The bird is apparently based on... It's unclear what the bird is supposed to be, because there's Setchan, which I forgot to mention, which is like a bird ally, but we have no pictures of him outside of this, like, leak thing. So this is probably based on Setchan, which is presumably... I don't know. There's a Hawk Gatlinger reference, of course, here, which is very nice from Build. Rip Keiichiro and the Red Ranger reunion. He's there. He's very, very, very barely visible behind, what's it called? Behind Vroom. You can barely very barely see Power Ranger, and I'm seeing people say Power Ranger doesn't have a gear. I mean, we haven't seen the let me think. What gear haven't we seen? I don't think we've seen the Magi Ranger gear. I mean, they're going to make a Power Ranger gear. They can sell another toy. He's another Red Ranger. So, I mean, just because we don't see the gear doesn't mean they're not going to sell it. They're just selling the Lupin Ranger one first. I mean, come on, guys. Use your brains. You're all very smart. I know it. There is actually a good a question of what the gears do. I mean, presumably, because they're not. I don't think they're gonna do a Gokaiger thing again, where they turn into the Rangers. I don't know. You don't design your Rangers to look like past Sentai heroes if you're just gonna make them turn into those past Sentai heroes, right? And then, it's a question, I think, of whether or not they summoned them, like Kamen Rider D End, or if they're just gonna like use their powers. I think that's where I think the question is. I think I don't know. It could be like a summon, because we get that shot with all the Red Rangers in the trailer, so it could be they all like spam summon all the Red Rangers, and then they lose all the gears, and that's what the first half of the show or something is about, going back and getting the Sentai gears. But I don't know. It's very, very interesting. As we know, I think they're made by the parents of Kaiser. So, taking a quick sip of water. Oh, I did not know this. TL Savage says, for the Zenkaiger gears, the front is for transforming and the backs are for the Kikanoids to grow and combine. That's really interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool. Because you can see they do have like the different teeth patterns, which is how the sounds will be activated, I assume. So maybe the Sentai gears could do both. Like the first one side summons the Ranger and the other side uses the attacks. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. So the next toys that I want to talk about briefly, there is an Aqua Red gear. I'm not showing all the gears. There's a lot of gears. I'm just not I'm just not looking at all the gears now because I don't want to put like 20 gears on the screen. And these are some nice pictures of the gears and kind of gives you a nice idea. I really love the Sentai gears. The Geartlinger is all right. Maybe I've seen some speculation they get like different armors and stuff, but I feel like if they did, that would have been in the trailer. But again, we didn't see a lot in the trailer, so who knows? I don't know. It's very interesting. Again, there's a lot of questions they've left for the show, which is really, really exciting, I think. I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to American trailers showing too much. Sentai trailers, I mean, Kamen Rider Japanese trailers, I don't really have a problem with that, but I do really like how they're holding back a lot. So, this is a really interesting thing that they're doing this year. So, if you've seen, or if you keep up with the toy line, you'll know since Q Ranger, they did a thing called Yudo, which is basically, if you keep up with the Rider toy line, it's like Soto. And if you don't know what Soto or Yudo is, it's basically like a little mini figure line. Like, they're not that small, but it's a little smaller figure line that comes packaged. It's the candy toy line, so it's like cheaper, they're smaller, the plastic isn't as high quality, but they have stickers. You need to put on stickers, but it's very affordable, I think, and in some cases it's the only way to get a lot of characters. Like, for Lupin Ranger, they released the main few Rangers. For not Zenkaiger. For Ryu Soldier, they released the main few Rangers and the armors in Geizolg. And like, they always stop at a certain point, so it's a little disappointing. For Kira Major, they did the main 6, and that was it. And Garza. But this year, it looks like they're evolving Yudo, and these figures are apparently sized the same as Yudo, but they're deluxe releases. So they're fully painted, there's no stickers, and they're actually not that expensive. They're like $15 each, I think. So that's like a little more expensive than, I mean, that's actually the price of like the gimmick Power Rangers figures, which is really interesting. So the main 5 Rangers are all getting, what is this called? I have it written down. What it's called? Or I don't. Do I? I don't. Oops. I think they're called like Hero Change figures. So Zenkaiser is just a figure, which is fine. But the other 4 are going to transform into their different modes, because I guess I forgot if I mentioned it or not, but they all transform into like a mode based off of a thing. So those are called their Kikai modes. So Juran turns into the Juran Tyranno, a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Gaon turns into the Gaon Lion, a lion. Vroom turns into the Vroom Dump, a dump truck. And Magine turns into the Magine Dragon, a dragon. So that's pretty cool. So the DX releases will do that as well, and the Candy Toy Mini Pla will do that as well. But those will combine as well, and these just are figures that transform. So they're basically Transformers, which is pretty cool. So you got Zenkaiser and his Transformer friends, which is nice, and I think it's a really cool thing that they are doing this year, for people who like Magine, like myself. But I think that they should be releasing the Ranger forms, because I need the Magine for normal form. I mean, yeah. So, not much else to talk about here. You can see their individual weapons, kind of. Gaon gets a claw. Juran gets a sword and shield. Vroom gets a Minecraft pickaxe, as if he already didn't look like a Minecraft character as his normal form. And Magine gets a tail because of the dragon. So that's it for these hero change figures. And lastly, but not leastly, we've got the Mecha Mega Megazords, which is oops, I messed something up. I did not click Magine off, which is very on brand for me, I guess. So as I mentioned earlier, the yellow, so they, in their Ranger forms, they're the Megazords, and they can grow large. They turn into the animal forms, as I mentioned, and they also turn into half of a robot. So Gaon creates a right side, and Magine creates a right side, while Juran creates a left side, and Vroom creates a left side, and the halves can combine. So on the left is, and they're both called Zenkai-O, but they're like different variations of Zenkai-O. So the left is Zenkai-O Juran that's a different thing. The left is Zenkaiger Jura Gaon, and the right is Zenkaiger, or Zenkai-O Vroom Magine, which is like a pun. It's Vroom Magine, but the M is Vroom, which I think is Vroom saying Magine is his, and he has to back off. Yeah. So Jura Gaon looks really nice. I love the it kind of looks like, what's it called, Kishiryu Neptune from Ryu Soldier. It has like the double claw, or the mouth vibe, and the sword and shield is very cool. Vroom Magine looks alright. The toy, though, looks alright, because we haven't seen it in the show, So the show could look really nice because this Zenkai Gaon looks much nicer in the show, of course. They always do. But the toy looks all right here. But I mean, it looks all right. I think Zenkai Gaon is by far more interesting. Yes, the toys can swap sides. I have not put a picture of that here, but you can mix and match. The helmets will also mix and match as well. So I don't think they have official names, but just going off a guess, you can also create Zenkai Magine, or no, Zenkai Vroon. No. The names don't match. No, wait, they do. Okay. So you can create Vroon Gaon or Zenkai Magine, I think. That's what they would be called. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But yes, you can mix and match. So I'm hoping that the other Mecha friends, because we're probably gonna get more Mecha friends, right? The Kikanoids. As I'm hoping that when we get more Kikanoids, they'll retain this mix and match gimmick, because I think it's pretty cool. I really like the chromed out like symbols on the chest, and yeah, I like the chromed out symbols on the chest, and it's a cool representation of their individual personality forms or whatever. As far as I know, the same halves can't combine, so you can't put Majin with Gaon or Vroom with Juran. It wasn't advertised. So I would assume it doesn't work. Because they have sounds, but I think only one of the two robots has sounds built into it. So I would assume the same half has sounds for both of these. So I don't think I don't think the same side is mix compatible, but you can mix and match the different sides. So, and a lot of people in the chat have been pointing out it's like Kamen Rider Double. You are completely right. I think if you do Gao and Vroom, you just have double Luna Trigger, I think. Reverse Luna Trigger? No, it's just Luna Trigger. So hopefully they do like a silver dude on the left side, and you can also do heat metal. So that is it for Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. I'll go for a little bit longer. We can talk more about Zenkaiger or just things in general. I want to quickly bring up again, if my Kamen Rider Deno review is coming out Monday, but if you want to watch it early, it's in the description in the Patreon for just $2. There you go. You can check out the Deno review. So while we just talk about stuff in general, I'll switch the screen to the Queen. So far, Zenkaiger has no mecha. I believe I forget if it was a rumor or confirmed, that when the two Kikanoids combine into the giant robot, the Zenkaiser will be able to pilot it. But I don't remember if the other two will pilot as well, possibly. So I would assume that at some point Zenkaiser is going to get his own mecha, and it'll combine the four, because that just makes sense. What do I think of the mini plot? I'm buying it again this year. The mini plot looks really great. The mini plot always looks really fantastic in my opinion, but I just skipped out on the Kira Major ones because they didn't really combine, and I wasn't really a fan of that. I would like to get the Joki mini plot at some point, just so I can pose it with my Ryu Soldier mini plot, because I think that would look really cool. But like a Geizolg mecha. But I'm picking up the mini plot this year because I think it looks really great, because Mini Paul always looks great, but the mecha looks great, and yeah, there you go. Do I think they will release all the gears in a DX release? Well, no, because they never release everything in DX. As far as I know, the Gokaiger only had like 5 sets or something in DX with only 5 keys, and there's like 35. So, or no, way more than 35. So no, I'm not banking on all the keys getting a DX release, but I don't know how many are gonna get a DX release because I don't think there were any leaks of a DX release gear sets. So it might be they're all in like Candy Toy or Gashapon. And as someone who really tries to collect the DX stuff, I don't know if that's going to be easier or harder. It would be cool if Zenkaiser's mecha was a jet based on Veradrine from Go Ranger. Yes, I have seen those ideas floating around, and I agree that would be cool. If there was a game I would want Kamen Rider X to cross over with, what would that be? Minecraft, so we can get Vroom, Zenkai Vroon. I wish they would bring back the SH figure arts for these guys and gals. I would buy a Magine figure art. Just throwing that out there. If it's the civilian form, do not care about the Ranger form. The civilian form is beautiful. The power-up form should be Gokaiger armor or something. Well, we already know that they're making a Gokaiger gear, so but I do agree. I think it would be really cool to have the Gokaiger's power set in some way create the power-up form or something, kind of like Decade in Geo. I think that would be cool. I've seen a lot of speculation that the Gokaiger should like come back for this, kind of like the Gokaigers came back for, or sorry, like Decade came back for, what is it called? Geo. I forgot the name for a second. I think that would be cool. But I haven't seen Gokaiger, so it's not like I can really elaborate on why I would like to see the Gokaigers come back. I just think it would be cool. Thank you for bringing that up. Gabriel brings up ninja-themed Kikanoid. I've seen this idea being floated around, and I 100% agree. I think the 6th Ranger should be green because Zenkaiser has the green on him. There's no Green Ranger yet, and the green 6th Ranger would be a very nice reference to Dragon Ranger from Zyuranger, who was the first 6th Ranger, I believe. But in addition to that, his motif, as you mentioned, should be a ninja, because we've had 3 ninja series and there's no ninja ranger yet, and you can base the ninja green 6th Ranger off of Shurikenger from Hurricaneger, because it's a green 6th Ranger in that show. So that would be really cool. There were rumors, I don't know them really, but there were rumors of like 4 other Rangers, I think, or I don't remember if it was like 4 other Rangers with like a partner, but there's like a green rumor, and then there's gold and silver, and I think there was something else, but I can't remember. But I don't really remember. I do remember actually a lot of it was like, this is this human ranger with his robot partner, or her robot partner, and there was like 3 sets of that, so that's a lot of Rangers. But I don't know if the rumors were like for the next catalog, or if it was like the whole show, if we're gonna get like 4 other characters and their partners. I'm not sure at all, but I don't know. Whatever. As long as we get more mecha friends, the Kikanoids, I'll be happy with it. I just hope they all know that they cannot surpass the Magine design. what if the sixth ranger is the grandma? That would be really great, I think, because she already has the gun. So like, why not just stick a gear in there? I mean, it's not like, that actually does kind of track with previous Sentai. At least Q Ranger, I know, had the mentor turned into the sixth ranger, and yeah, there we go. I think that would be great. Yes, the rumor is that there's a Zenkaiger. I actually hope the names in that rumor are false, because I don't like it's already confusing going from Zenkaiger to Zenkaiser, and then we're gonna add Zenkaider, Zenkaier, Zuzu, Zenda. So, yeah, I don't know. Do I think the figure line will include some villains like Yudo? I don't know, because Yudo itself only got to like 2 villains. Like this year they only did the Mooks, the foot soldiers, and the what's his name? Garza. The year before they only did the foot soldiers and Geiselg. So like I would assume they would do that, but since the figure line is much more expensive this year, maybe they're gonna just dial back and stick exclusively to the Ranger characters. I have no idea. We're kind of in new territory with the figures this year, since it's basically just Yudo Deluxe, but Yudo itself was kind of, the Yudo schedule itself was kind of all over the place, and now they're like, I don't know now. I don't know. We'll see. But that is an interesting thought. Hopefully, I hope they do release the villains. I love when they release villains. I'm very, very excited for the Weisel figure release in America, because apparently they're already filming Weisel footage in Power Rangers Dino Fury, and I love Weisel, so maybe not as much as Magine, but I love Weisel, and I'm very excited to see him in Dino Fury, and I'm really excited to get some figures of him. I'm probably gonna get one normal figure to unbox and have maybe a boxed figure, and if they release like the tall figures, I would actually really love to get one of those, not just because it's Weisel, but because you could replicate the scene where he makes a giant picture of himself and they're just talking to each other. If PR goes away from adapting the rest of the seasons, would I have to get what I want from the Sentai toys instead of waiting for a PR version? Yes. At some point, I probably will have to go and track down Q Ranger stuff, because I was kind of hoping that it would be adapted and I could just get it here, but if it's not, then I'll have to go find it. But it's been a few years, so it's probably a little cheaper, so that's great. Do we even know what the monsters look like? Kind of, not really. We have a picture. We know we have brief glimpses of them in the trailer, but we don't know any of the main villains. We don't know really any, we don't really know. We just have brief glimpses. But I think that's kind of interesting, because usually they have like a whole 5 minutes in the trailer, like, here are the villains. This is the main general. This is his friend. They are bad. They summoned these monsters, and they tried to take over the world. But we have the Sentai here to save them, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't like that. We just were like, here's the Sentai. Here's Magine. That's it. What from Q Ranger would I want? I would actually really like the Seiza changer. I always forget about the Seiza changer, but I probably would say that's my favorite Sentai changer. It looks really nice as like a wrist thing, but it's nice that it's like kind of a gun weapon as well. That's really cool. It has a lot of functionality, because as on its own it has the shooting stuff, but it also has like the communication gimmick. But then if you put in a Q-Tama, You've also got the change, you got the change, the final attack, the normal attack, the Voyager summon, and then you also have the docking, and then you also have the control. So I really like that you can like mimic controlling the Voyager and the Megazord with the changer. I really love that little gimmick. So the Seiza changer, because I think it's really cool. And it says Seiza change, which is really cool. The sounds, like, the way they sound is really cool as well. So if you guys didn't know, I guess I completely forgot about this, but right now on YouTube you can go watch Kamen Rider with subtitles. It's the first episode, like the very, very first episode ever, but there you go. So Magine. Let's talk about Magine again. That's a joke, but Magine is the best. I really need a Magine figure. It makes me sad they're not making a Magine civilian figure. Makes a big sad. You think if Oh yes, I forgot about this. If Gokaiger appears in the show, will they get the keys for the seasons that came after them? I think if Gokaiger appears, that is guaranteed that we're probably gonna get like a 45th anniversary it's actually the 10-year anniversary of Gokaiger, so we could get a 10 anniversary Gokai Cellular, and you can release, and it'll have functionality for the 5 years of Ranger keys they haven't released yet, and it'll make sounds and stuff. I think that would be really cool. I probably won't buy it because that might be a tricky hole to fall into, but there should be a Sentai about elements. That is Shinkenger, kind of. Like, they're all based on the elements, fire, whatever. If there was a Gold Ranger, I want Majin to simp over him because the first main Gold Ranger was Maji Shine. I thought there was a Gold Ranger before Maji Shine, but I don't. I never thought of that. That would be interesting, but I don't really want to see Majin simp over anyone. Shin says, "Oh hey, it's the Kikanoid that I'm simping for." I have respect. That's all I'll say. Ryu Soldier Gokai change fight would be so cool. Yes, I agree. Seeing the Gokaigers Gokai change into the recent seasons would be really cool. I would wonder if they would give them. They never made Juoger keys, right? Yeah, I don't think they did. So I guess they wouldn't make Zenkaiger keys unless they want this to be like the last Gokaiger release ever. So then they'll kill off the Gokaigers and they will never release Ranger key sets again. How would Q Ranger keys work? If you mean in terms of what the Rangers would use, there are 12 Q Rangers and there are 6 Gokaigers. So you could very easily do like a double Gokai change where like they change into 6 Q Rangers for like 5 minutes, and then they change into the other 6 Q Rangers for another 5 minutes. Also, it would also really work because like typically Ryu Commander and Hoa Soldier are like, people debate on like who's the 6th Ranger, and you could just have Gokai Silver change into both of those 6 Rangers. So first Gold Ranger was in Deca Ranger. Oh, okay. for a second. Oh yeah, I know about that. Okay. Aren't they making a new K-Touch for Decade? That is, I don't think it's confirmed they're making a new one. I don't remember if it's confirmed there is going to be one, because I know that Decade was just unboxing Decade stuff because his actor is just kind of that kind of guy. And he was, he mentioned something, I don't remember if he said there will be a new K-Touch in the Decade special, or if he said like it would be great if I got a new K-Touch, or if he's like I think he might have just said I'm getting a new form, which tracks for Decade. So I don't really know, but would I like to see one? Yeah, sure. Decade complete Neo, sure. I'll be down. Thoughts on Geo versus Decade rider time? It's I don't know. Like, I haven't seen Decade, but I enjoyed Decade in Geo. All right, Geo, I'm not the biggest fan of by a long shot, but Geo is really good after the show ended. The Gates Majesty is really amazing for some reason, and Geo in Heisei Reiwa Generations is also really good. So going off of logic, Geo is really good after the show ends. So I'm a little excited to see if that trend will continue. Also because I think Decade is writing the show. So that would, depending on his thoughts on Geo, I think it could work out. Is a Gokaiger 10 years after confirmed at this point? I don't think so, because I think one of the actors is like retired or something. But if they don't do a 10 years after special, I imagine they'll just grab one of the cast members, or as many of the cast members as they can, and just throw them into Zenkaiger. So why are we calling me a simp again? What have I done to be called a simp? I'm just putting our queen and savior Magine civilian form on the screen. Actually, let's do this. Here we go. Let's get that out of there, and let's do this. And this, that's this, and there we go. Perfect. The stream has peaked. Still live? Yes, I am still live. But I'll probably, we're probably going to go for like 10 more minutes or something. So, if you have any other questions about Zenkaiser or Zenkaiger, I mean, I guess Zenkaiser falls under that. But, is there no 01 and Saber crossover movie? I wouldn't say there won't be one. However, because they haven't said there won't be one, but I think there's the possibility that there will be one, but it's just not confirmed. Who knows? Who knows, basically. Speaking of movies, I guess I forgot, because they didn't really give us any info, but there are 3 movies coming out for Sentai, and they just haven't addressed it at all. So we're getting Kira Major the movie that was supposed to come out last summer, but small circumstances required them to delay it, so it's coming out this spring, I think. And then it looks like we're getting like an episode 0 for Zenkaiger. They haven't really explained, but it's some kind of, I'm not sure if it's like a Zenkaiger movie or if that was just like, hey, Zenkaiger's coming out. I'm not really sure, but either a Zenkaiger movie or they're just like, hey, Zenkaiger. But we're also getting a new Ryu Soldier movie, which is really interesting because, keep in mind, I love Ryu Soldier. It's my favorite show, or Sentai show, so far at least. This one hasn't come out, and it has Magine. So, but, Ryu Soldier ended, like, over a year ago, right? Or not even over a year ago. It ended last year, but the movie, making a new movie for it seems really interesting because, like, I don't know, it feels out of nowhere. Like, oh, okay, a new Ryu Soldier movie. Like, I'm a Ryu Soldier fan. I'm perfectly fine with that. But it's like, why are we doing another Ryu Soldier movie? And what I'm guessing is Ryu Soldier got its stage show canceled, basically. If you don't know, they same with Ryder. They do stage shows after the show ends, and it's like a nice little story or whatever. But for Ryu Soldier, they canceled it because of the world circumstances. So there's no footage, I think, of it. There's like one picture of a 7 Ranger roll call with Geizolg, the 6 Rangers in their armors, Max Riesel Red and Geizolg, but that's the only picture from that whole thing. And they even made a whole new Ranger suit that looks like Lord Draken, but Ryu Soldier, called Ryusou Moria. And they did all of this stuff for it, but it's canceled, or it got canceled. People might have watched it, I think, but they usually film it and upload it. They never got the opportunity to film it and upload it. So what I'm guessing is that they're sitting here like, we made this new suit, we wrote this story with presumably ideas fans would want to see. What if we just made a movie out of it? That's what I'm guessing. So I'm guessing the Ryu Soldier movie is just the stage show, either as a movie or it's just the stage show itself. Either way, I'm perfectly fine with. But, yeah, that's what I'm guessing. So, Sanson says it's going to be like the Kamen Rider movie double release, Kira Major movie, Kira Major vs. Ryu Soldier, and Zenkaiger Episode 0. But if it was Kira Major vs. Ryu Soldier, it would have been marketed as Kira Major vs. Ryu Soldier. It's not. They're marketing it as Kira Major the movie, which is obviously what was supposed to be summer movie. This Zenkaiger thing, which may or may not be Episode 0, and Ryu Soldier the movie. And it would be weird to market Ryu Soldier versus Kira Major as Ryu Soldier the movie, when it would probably be more of a Kira Major movie. So I think it's the stage show adaptation, but we have no idea, and these movies are coming out in like a month or something. So who knows? I'm excited for it. I don't care, because I love Ryu Soldier. So why are the majority of the main cast robots? Because Sentai wants to do something different this year. I thought someone asked about Sentai Potential Cure Major. I don't remember where that went, but Sentai Potential Cure Major is happening after Cure Major ends, as usual, and that's it. Yeah. I think Lupin Ranger vs. Ryu Soldier and Kira Major Episode 0 was also known as Super Sentai Movie Party. Yes, but I think that was always marketed as Ryu Soldier versus Kira Major versus... Wait. Yes, the LVPV Ryu Soldier was always marketed as that. I don't think they marketed it as like Lupin Ranger the movie or something. So I don't think it's the verses. Because they could always just do the verses later in the year. Like the Lupin Ranger versus Paddle Ranger versus Q Ranger was a V Cinema versus like 6 months after Lupin Ranger ended. So, and Q Ranger was like over for like 2 years. So they can always do the verses later when they want to. So but basically, yeah, Ryu Soldier returns, basically, which is, I think, what the stage show was, so. Do I like Kira Major? I love Kira Major. Kira Major is great. I'm excited to talk about it. There's not really, like, a lot to Kira Major, but I think that's what makes Kira Major good. Uh, so I'm gonna go for like 5 more minutes, I think, and then I'm gonna leave. So I don't care what they do with the Ryu Soldier movie as long as we have our Lord and Savior Weisel. Thank you. You are 100% correct. As long as we get Weisel in whatever, yes. Do whatever you want. You could kill all the characters as long as we get Weisel. Do I like Zenkaiser? I do like Zenkaiser. I think he's my favorite of the Ranger suits, but not the best suit in the show. They don't always do the crossover movie at the end of the current season because, again, the Lupin Ranger versus Paddle Ranger one came out like 6 months after Lupin Ranger versus Paddle Ranger, and it was a V Cinema. So, is Kira Major better than 01 or worse? I think it's better than 01. I think it's a lot more enjoyable. It's not trying to do as much as 01, but what it's trying to do, it succeeds by a long shot. Although the suits are weird, I do agree. I'm still not the biggest fan of all of the suits. Which Sentai have I watched? I've watched I started Q Ranger, watched the present, and I've seen Shinkenger. And that's it. Shinkenger review is coming out at some point. Actually, hopefully. So my plan right now is, the Den-O review is coming out Monday, and you can check it out in the Patreon if you want. After that will be Sentai Potential Den-O, and what I'm hoping to do is, Rider Potential Den-O. I did it again. Rider Potential Den-O. After that, I'm hoping to do the Shinkenger review, and its special Sentai Potential, which I'll explain in that video because people are still confused. Shinkenger Sentai Potential has got a weird thing with it. And then hopefully those two will come out before my Kira Major review, but I'm not sure if that will work out. So I'll probably have like a big Sentai month thing going on, where I've got the Shinkenger review, the Shinkenger Sentai Potential, Kira Major review, Kira Major Sentai Potential, and the Zenkaiger premiere review. All I can really promise is the Kira Major review coming out around when it ends, and the Zenkaiger review coming out around when it begins. And if I don't do that, it'll maybe be just a 10-minute video of me talking about Magine. And then after that, I'm hoping for March to be Ultraman month, where I'm gonna go over. It's I'll talk about Ultraman Orb and Ultraman Zet. I'm actually gonna talk about Zet first because that ended. It's ended, but I didn't get to do the review in time, and because my Zet review will directly tie into Orb, because I only watched Zet because of Orb. I only watched Orb because of Zet. Zet got me to watch Orb, so I'll review it in the order I watched it. And then after that, on the beginning of April, is going to be my, I forget the specific dates, but I know April 3rd and April 5th is the 50th and 45th anniversaries of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. And I want to do something this year, so I've got some ranking videos planned for both of those dates, and I want them to come out on those dates, but they're big videos, so it could get the Zet video and the Orb video delayed a bit because I don't know how long I'm going to take, because I don't have like a schedule at all. It just depends how my videos get done on time. So, but yeah, I've got a lot of videos planned. That is basically like my plan for like the first 4 months of the year. So until like April, and after that I'm hoping to start getting some more, kind of more of the same, but like in a rotation. So like after I'll do like I'll do writer potential and review of Kabuto because that was voted to be next. After that will be writer or Sentai review of Mega Ranger because I want to watch Mega Ranger. I want to watch Ultraman Gaia, so I'll be talking about Ultraman Gaia. And from there, I have no idea because there are a few other Sentai I want to watch, but I don't want to spoil what it is because I'm watching them for a very specific purpose. I do, however, want to watch Magine Ranger a bit more because it created Magine. So, I might just watch Magine Ranger after Mega Ranger, maybe even before, because I want to see where Magine came from. Because I love Magine. So, what don't I like about Zenkai Magine? I don't really like the Ranger form. The Ranger form's kind of ugly, but the civilian form is beautiful. So, yeah. Have I heard of the SCP Foundation? Nope. Why Magine is the answer to world peace video when? I have no idea. Oh, thank you, Nathan504 for bringing that up. He asked about my reactions to Power Rangers Dino Fury. I love Reed Soldier. I love the suits, so I'm excited for it. But I'll probably do a video on Dino Fury as well, and Beast Morphers as well, because a lot of people said they want to see my thoughts on Beast Morphers, so I'll probably do a quick little video on that, because I don't really have a lot to say about it, but I do have some things I want to say about it, but I'll probably do a premiere Dino Fury video whenever that comes out, and I think that's it. Oh, what writers have I watched? It'll be in the Deno review on Monday when I rank all the shows I've seen at the end. And what am I watching Gaia on? I have no idea. I have to look. What's a great Sentai series to start with? Whatever you think looks cool. All of them I believe are great for beginners, except now this is not, I don't have proof of this, but Gokaiger might be a bit confusing because it's an anniversary. But other than that, go watch whatever you think looks cool. Oh yes, thank you. I completely forgot. Ultraman Dyna is doing the opening, and the opening is very cool. That's about it. Opening is very nice. What's after Kabuto? I don't want to spoil that. The season 2 lineup looks to be very packed. I'm very excited about the season 2 lineup of Sentai Potential, and Rider Potential, and I don't really want to spoil it. Sentai Potential, I have no idea. I just kind of do whatever I want. Sentai Potential. No, Kabuto is after Deno. Deno is coming next after the Deno review. So yeah, one last time. Before I leave, actually, King Wolf said Thomas X Magine, and So one last time, if you want to see the Kamen Rider Deno review early, it is on my Patreon for only $2. You can watch the whole thing early, but if you don't want to pay, which is completely fine, it's coming out in like 2 days for free live on the channel. And after that will be the Sentai Potential, and I already explained the whole other thing. So with that, thank you everyone for coming to my Zenkaiger discussion live stream thing, and remember to stan Magine.